My name it really is Tina Powers, and people go, oh, is that your stage name? That couldn't be your name, really. And I'm like, well, yeah, it is. I'm actually married to a Jameson Powers. But the funny thing is that my mother told me, and she's not a hippie, that she was going to name me Crystal. So I would have been Crystal Powers. When I was a little kid, I used to see people in my bedroom, like almost like a hologram. And it would scare the heck out of me. I didn't know who they were. It happened really fast sometimes. Now when I'm older, I realized, oh, a lot of those were guides. Those were helpers. It was actually a good thing. But when it's in the dark, in the middle of the night, and you're a little kid, I would get so freaked out. And so I'd run down to my parents' room and say, there are people in the room. And they would be like, drama queen. I've done this now for about 13 years. And still, I'm not sure that they know exactly what I do, because they're like, we know you help people and we know they come out happier, but we're still not sure exactly what's happening. It happens in many ways. It just almost seems like sometimes, if we want to call it spiritual energy, has an open seat for me. You know, I was once sitting with this woman and I got her father on the other side, and he was telling me, flip off my daughter. And I'm like, am I getting that right? So I didn't flip her off. I just sat there for a second. I'm like, what do I do? Yeah. So I asked her, I said, you know, this might seem really, really ridiculous, but I'm getting it over and over that your father wants me to flip you off.
God, what did she do?
She goes, that's totally my dad. We used to flip each other off all the time.
Wow.
So I did it, and she was laughing, and we laughed so hard. Like a lot of times when I do this work, I see pictures. Well, I have another funny story too. There was this man who told everyone he quit smoking. Everyone. He was so proud of. I mean, he would like gloat about it. And so I'm reading for him, right? And all of a sudden, his sister Myrna comes through from the other side and says, he's smoking. He's smoking, and says that, and it was a group reading. And that she had given him a cowboy lighter, and it was like in the shape of a cowboy boot, and that he could go ahead and use that lighter, and to quit telling everyone that he's not smoking because she knows he is. And he turned bright red, and he's like, oh my God, this is real. And he was so busted for smoking. I was reading for a Frenchman who absolutely was sure that there was nothing. But, you know, sometimes they want readings, so I try to talk to the part of their soul that's in front of me, because there's always a reason, you know? And so finally he's just looking at me and maybe. And then finally I start hearing the song Billie Jean from Michael Jackson. So I say, do you know Michael Jackson? And all of a sudden, you know, it went from to this, and he just started crying. And he told me that Michael used to call him for a period of time at 3 a.m. when he couldn't sleep. And they used to talk for hours. And that he played a father role for him at a period of time. And I was very honored and touched. You know, every soul is important. But sometimes when you hear, you know, when I'm hearing things, you know, it's like, okay, am I hearing that correctly? But I've just learned, give it. It's not up to me to discern. I mean, every living being has an energy and a frequency and a soul. One of my first readings where I realized, I heard clairaudiently the name Pokey. Pokey. It just came in. So I say to the woman, do you know Pokey? And she's, but she goes, that is my childhood horse, Pokey. She's like, I don't want to talk to Pokey. Really? And I'm like, well, I do. The hope is to help bring relief, also make it fun. Yeah. Because I think all of us are starving for a higher vibration, a higher frequency, more fun in our lives, our purpose, our meaning, why we're here. You know, more and more people are really searching right now.